Hello, fellow scrapbookers, paper crafters, memory keepers. It's Iris here with a layout for the Wild Hare Kit Club. And I am using my March Petite Kit, which was mainly Pink Fresh Studio embellishments, and then a few of the papers from that same line, A Case of the Blahs. And I am using the March cut file from the Wild Hare Kit Club. A couple months ago, I went through the process of how to order from the Wild Hare kits, and I'm not sure if I mentioned, but included with the deluxe kits, not the petite, but the deluxe kits, there are the cut files for the month, and it's an actual cut physical background that is included with the kit, which is very unique. I know a lot of places offer cut files, but they are just downloads. So that's one of the other ways that the Wild Hair Kits is very unique and tailored to everyone. The March cut file is this wet background with these triangles, which are really cool. They're sort of, I don't want to call them wonky, but they're definitely have some variation in them. I don't know if you can see that the spacing between them isn't exact everywhere. So that was the basis for the base for this layout. And then I have been here going through the embellishments to see what would fit my story and these photos. So this is my older daughter. It's a couple of years ago, just entering the tween years, and you know how the tweens and teens get the tween and teen attitudes. We were on a little weekend holiday as a family, and she had some hard times during that holiday. And I went through the embellishment. So A Case of the Blahs from Pink Fresh Studios is very, shall we say, real life with the sentiments. It's a really cool set. And I just chose ones that sort of embodied the attitude, such as that one that says attitude on it, and the real me, and whose idea was this anyway, because she wasn't really keen on being on a weekend holiday with us at that time, or at least at moments. But I also like the fact that this collection has some great aspirational messages. So with this layout, I didn't want to really, how you say, like wallow in the fact that she was having an attitude or anything like that. I wanted to show a message, a positive message. So things like your story is unique, your story is different. I chose that as the title piece actually. And the attitude changes everything, and the hashtag no judgment. So, it's just sort of a mix of, giving you a taste of how her feelings might have been at the time, or my impressions of it, plus just a kind of positive message. And now I have been cutting pieces from the 6x6 papers. I got 3 6x6 papers in my petite kit, and then that grid is actually packaging behind from the puffy sticker set, I believe. I did here cut out some of the small squares from the third paper that I got in my set. This is cut aparts, thinking that I could put them behind the triangles. So I was even cutting out some of the phrases. But it turns out that these little squares are just shy of fitting the triangles well. So I was only able to use a couple sort of close to where the photos are, and where they're slightly behind the photos. So here I am starting the process of lining the cut file. Now, it's just occurred to me as I'm editing this video how I could have done this better, and let's just learn from my mistakes here, because lining cut files is not hard. It's just can be tedious when there's a lot of little pieces. I'm sure everyone that's ever worked with cut files will agree. And it's fine. It just takes a little while, or it can take a little while, depending on what it is. So what I should have done, I think, and I'm going to try this next time I have a cut file to line, is I should have taken the negative of the cut file. In this case, I'm using the negative cut on the background, but what I mean by that is like what's left behind on my cutting mat. I probably should have just used that as a like a template and cut my pieces and sort of put them on top of the in this case the triangles, so that I could just lay the cut file on top after I've laid it out, and possibly, like if you put glue on each piece and then you lay the cut file on top, they probably could have stuck to the back. So as you can see here, I fast forwarded a bit past a lot of the lining and we're towards the end. And I grabbed the paper there that has words, is actually from the 6x6 pad of this collection that I bought separately. I had placed a pre-order with a cherry on top before I got this kit from the Wild Hare Kits, and it included the 6x6 pad. So I went ahead and grabbed the paper that has those little words on it. It's part of the collection, so it matches really well. And I ended up putting my photos here in a line. I wanted to show the progression. They are 3 different photos of her as she's just kind of looking down and then starts looking up, and then she's looking at the camera, quite unsure about how to feel about things. Like I said, that big piece there is serving as my title. This isn't going to have any journaling. I wanted this as a standalone page of just phrases. And then here, this is a fabric die cut. That's one of the great things about this line, is it has a pack of fabric die cuts, but I was there trying to figure out if there was sticky back on it. I could not remove any paper from the back. I progressed a little bit again here. I think I just left and came back a few hours later. And just moving things around a little bit more, I grabbed some of the foliage die cuts to add a little bit more interest between all the phrases. And like I said, these photos are in a line as a progression, and somehow I ended up with a diagonal layout, which coincidentally my last layout with the same collection happened to be in a diagonal. And it looks quite different, but still it was in diagonal. Something about this collection made me think of diagonals. And I think I used 3 photos in each. All right, so from my stash, I grabbed a couple of twine I wanted to use on those tags. One of those tags, the Attitude Changes Everything, is just regular die cut, and then the Real Me one is a fabric one. So I chose shades of green. The darker one is from Trendy Twine, which is from Annie's Paper Boutique, and that color is holly. And then the lighter one that you'll see in just a bit is called Green Apple, and it's a Divine Twine. There it is there. I don't know. I noticed that with this collection, any videos and layouts I've seen, other people even do, that color that looks yellowy, so those striped papers that are lining some of the triangles, and say that leaf in the middle, they look slightly yellow, but they're actually a chartreuse color in real life. And I've noticed that the camera doesn't seem to pick that up as well. And I love that this line has those shades of green, because green is my favorite color. And as usual, I get overzealous to want to get things done, and I glue things down. Well, the chipboard set in this Pink Fresh Studio is just got great adhesive. You know how sometimes when you have chipboard, especially like thickers, they don't have great adhesive. This line really does. It's very strong. So I was struggling here as I decided to shift everything over a little bit to the left. I had to work at it to unstick them a bit. And then that one piece there, I wanted to not really be rigid. It's just kind of hanging like a tag. I was struggling to decide if I was going to sort of fold over that twine or not. So here I am going off to a few of the other little pieces and trying a few more out. I like how this set has black and white in addition to colored pieces. It's really cool. So I decided to clean up a bit. It was getting quite messy. And then I look for more goodies to put on here. Now, I recently broke my tiny attacher and I had to order a new one, and I was having trouble seeing if the staples were actually working there. I got it to work and I decided to staple the twine, fold it over. Oh, there I am trying to see if there was a backing paper on those fabric pieces, and I could not remove one. So I'm assuming that it is not removable. It's just a backing to the fabric itself. And I really like how stapling the twine, that effect it gives you. Plus, I've got staples sort of going up on the diagonal. And one of my final little finishing touches is to put a couple pieces of enamel dots. So I've got greens and oranges going up that diagonal, and then the background goes up on a diagonal, but it's more subtle. And here we have the dates on there, and here's a closer look at the layout itself. That undo eventually did dry. And then we have some still shots here. So keep in mind, if you haven't tried the Wild Hair kits, not only is it customizable to you, like for instance, I just asked for one collection this time, but you can ask for just about anything. She's got lots of new collections out, and you get free cut files with your deluxe kit. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.